night and day. Watched him when he rose to weep and when he crouched to pray. Watched him lest himself should rob their scaffold of its prey. The governor was strong upon the Regulations Act. The doctor said that death was but a scientific fact. And twice a day the chaplain called and left a little tract. And twice a day he smoked his pipe and drank his quart of beer. His soul was resolute and held no hiding place for fear. He often said that he was glad the hangman's hands were near. But why he said so strange a thing, no one dared to ask. For he to whom a watcher's doom is given as his task must set a lock upon his lips and make his face a mask. Or else he might be moved and try to comfort or console. And what should human pity do pent up in murderer's hole? What word of grace in such a place could help a brother's soul? With slouch and swing around the ring, we trot the fool's parade. We did not care, we knew we were the devil's own brigade. And shame and head and feet of lead make a merry masquerade. We tore the tarry rope to shreds with blunts and bleeding nails. We rubbed the doors and scrubbed the floors and cleaned the shining rails. And rank by rank we soaped the plank and clattered with the pails. We stole the sacks, we broke the stones, we turned the dusty grill. We banged the tins and bawled the hymns and sweated on the mill. But in the heart of every man, terror was lying still. So still it lay that every day crawled like a weed-clogged wave. And we forgot the bitter lot that waits for fool and knave. Till once, as we tramped in from work, we passed an open grave. With yawning mouth, the yellow hole gate for a living thing. The very mud cried out for blood to the thirsty asphalt ring. And we knew that ere one dawn grew fair, some prisoner had to swing. Right in we went with soul intent on death and dread and doom. The hangman with his little bag went shuffling through the gloom. And each man trembled as he crept into his numbered tomb. That night the empty corridors were full of forms of fear. And up and down the iron town stole feet we could not hear. And through the bars that hide the stars, white faces seem to peer. He lay as one who lies and dreams in a pleasant meadowland. The watchers watched him as he slept and could not understand how one could sleep so sweet a sleep with the hangman close at shoes afloat, crept by each padlocked door, and peeped and saw with eyes of awe grey figures on the floor, and wondered why men knelt to pray who never prayed before. All through the night we knelt and prayed, mad mourners of the course. The troubled plumes of midnight were the glooms upon a hearse, and bitter wine upon a sponge was the savor of remorse. The grey cock crew, the red cock crew, but never came the day, and crooked shapes of terror crouched in the corners where we lay, and each evil sprite that walks by night before us seemed to play. They glided past, they glided fast, like travelers through a mist. They mocked the moon in a rigadoon of delicate turn and twist, and with formal pace and loathsome grace the phantoms kept their tryst.